The Perpetually Unsatisfied Boss. In the bustling landscape of the corporate world, where dreams are pursued and ambitions take flight, there exists a story that speaks to the eternal human struggle for contentment and the unforeseen consequences of unrelenting desires. This is the story of Mr. Granger, a man whose quest for success knew no bounds, but whose insatiable hunger for more left him perpetually unsatisfied. The tale of Mr. Granger serves as a cautionary reminder that the pursuit of ever-elusive perfection and unending ambitions can have profound implications not only on one's own well-being but also on the lives of those in their orbit. Through his journey, we uncover the layers of a character shaped by an unyielding drive for more, and the ripples that his actions send through the tapestry of his business, his employees, and his own sense of fulfillment. In the following chapters, we delve deep into Mr. Granger's transformation from a boss consumed by the thirst for achievement to a leader who learns the true value of balance, empathy, and fostering an environment where both personal and professional growth can flourish. This story is a timeless exploration of the human condition, revealing the universal themes of ambition, satisfaction, and the ever-present need for self-reflection. As we embark on this narrative journey, we invite you to walk alongside Mr. Granger, to witness his struggles and triumphs, and to glean the invaluable lessons that his experience offers. The Perpetually Unsatisfied Boss is not just a story. It's a mirror that reflects the complexities of our own desires and aspirations, urging us to pause and consider the paths we choose to tread in our own pursuit of success and happiness.
Chapter 1: The Beginning of the Journey. In the heart of a bustling city, Mr. Granger embarked on his entrepreneurial journey with a modest pillow shop. He was full of energy and dreams, envisioning a thriving business that would bring comfort to people's lives. The softness of the pillows and the vibrant colors of the fabrics excited him. At first, Mr. Granger's ambitions were reasonable. He aimed to create a small but reliable customer base, providing cozy pillows for local families. As the business started to grow, he couldn't help but imagine a brighter future. His eyes sparkled with anticipation as he envisioned his pillows adorning countless living rooms. However, as success graced his endeavor, a subtle shift occurred within Mr. Granger. The more customers he attracted, the more his desires expanded. "We need more customers, more designs, and more profits," he would declare with an unquenchable thirst. His employees, who initially admired his enthusiasm, soon found themselves in a whirlwind of constantly evolving expectations. Mr. Granger's optimism, which once radiated like the morning sun, transformed into an unrelenting drive for more. He tirelessly pushed his team to outdo themselves, believing that only by setting the highest goals could they truly succeed. The simple joy of crafting pillows was overshadowed by the looming pressure of meeting his ever-growing demands. As his employees worked diligently to fulfill his ambitions, they began to notice a pattern. No matter how much they achieved, Mr. Granger's smile remained elusive. It seemed that no accomplishment was enough to satisfy his insatiable hunger for more. Even when they managed to secure new contracts or create unique designs, his response was always the same: "Good, but we can do better." The initial excitement that had drawn the employees to the company began to wane. The workplace, once a hub of creativity and camaraderie, now buzzed with tension. The employees felt like they were chasing an unattainable mirage, a mirage that happened to be their boss's shifting expectations. In this chapter of Mr. Granger's story, we witness the seeds of his never-ending dissatisfaction taking root. His ambitions, once a source of inspiration, now cast a shadow over the workplace. Little did he know that his relentless pursuit of more would have far-reaching consequences, affecting not only his employees but also his own well-being.
Chapter 2: The Ever-Rising Expectations. As Mr. Granger's pillow business continued to grow, so did his desires and expectations. What had started as a humble endeavor to provide comfort gradually transformed into an unending quest for perfection. Each success only seemed to fuel his hunger for more, and his expectations began to ascend to new heights. Every day, Mr. Granger set forth even higher goals for his team. "We need better quality pillows and faster production," he would declare with a determined glint in his eye. His employees, who had once felt a sense of accomplishment with each completed pillow, now found themselves in a relentless race against time and their boss's ever-increasing standards. The pillows that were once praised for their softness and vibrant colors were no longer sufficient. Mr. Granger now scrutinized every detail, examining each stitch and seam with a critical eye. He would point out even the tiniest flaws, a slightly crooked stitch, a hint of uneven stuffing, or a color shade that was just a tad off. The employees, though skilled and dedicated, struggled to keep up with the escalating demands. The joy of crafting pillows was overshadowed by the constant pressure to meet Mr. Granger's unattainable standards. They would work long hours, pouring their sweat and creativity into each pillow, only to be met with a list of imperfections that needed fixing. In the midst of this whirlwind of expectations, the workplace became a hub of stress and tension. The employees felt as if they were perpetually chasing an ever-receding finish line. They began to doubt their own abilities, questioning whether they were truly skilled enough to meet Mr. Granger's evolving criteria. The vibrant atmosphere that had once filled the workspace now gave way to a sense of inadequacy and self-doubt. Despite their dedication and hard work, Mr. Granger's employees felt as though they were trapped in a cycle of discontent. They yearned for the days when a completed pillow brought genuine satisfaction, not just a fleeting acknowledgement. The camaraderie that had once bound the team together started to fray, as each employee grappled with the relentless pursuit of perfection. As Chapter 2 unfolds, we witness the toll that Mr. Granger's ever-rising expectations take on both him and his team. The pursuit of excellence becomes a double-edged sword, driving them to push their limits while also sowing the seeds of frustration and disillusionment. It becomes clear that the journey towards contentment is not solely about achieving more, but about finding a balance between ambition and appreciation.
Chapter 3: The Unreachable Targets. With every passing day, Mr. Granger's ambitions seemed to grow larger and more distant, like stars in the night sky that were just out of reach. The success of his pillow business had expanded beyond his initial dreams, yet he couldn't shake the feeling that there was still more to achieve. "We must reach every continent, every country," he would exclaim, his voice echoing with a mix of determination and restlessness. His employees, once filled with excitement for their work, found themselves caught in the whirlwind of his aspirations. The dream of making comfortable pillows had transformed into an all-encompassing mission to blanket the world with their creations. Mr. Granger's vision expanded to a global scale. He imagined his pillows adorning beds in faraway places, bringing comfort to people he would never meet. His eyes sparkled as he talked about customers on distant shores enjoying the softness of his creations. While his enthusiasm was infectious, it also brought a weight of responsibility to his employees. No longer were they simply crafting pillows, they were chasing after an ideal that seemed almost unattainable. The pressure to reach every corner of the world and satisfy customers on every continent became an ever-present challenge. The demands of maintaining quality, efficiency, and global reach started to take a toll on the team's morale and energy. Despite their efforts, the reality of geography and logistics made it clear that reaching every country was a monumental task. The dream of global pillow domination collided with the limitations of time, resources, and practicality. The employees, who had once thrived on the excitement of growth, began to feel the weight of Mr. Granger's boundless expectations. As Chapter 3 unfolds, we witness the consequences of chasing targets that are beyond the realm of feasibility. Mr. Granger's unrelenting desire to expand his business to every corner of the earth strains the team's capabilities and dampens their enthusiasm. The once clear goal of bringing comfort to people's lives becomes obscured by the unrealistic pursuit of ubiquity. In this chapter, we learn that while aiming high is admirable, it's equally important to set achievable goals that align with both one's vision and the resources available.
Chapter 4: The Employee Struggle. As Mr. Granger's ambitions continued to soar, his employees found themselves caught in a relentless cycle of striving and struggling. The workplace that had once been a haven of creativity and collaboration was now overshadowed by tension and stress. The very act of creating pillows, which had once brought joy and satisfaction, now felt like an uphill battle. The employees worked tirelessly, pouring their time and energy into each pillow they crafted. They were dedicated to their craft, and their commitment to delivering quality never wavered. However, Mr. Granger's insatiable appetite for more meant that their efforts were never enough. "You're not working hard enough," he would proclaim, casting a shadow of doubt over their dedication. No matter how many pillows they made, no matter how many customers praised their work, Mr. Granger always found something to criticize. He'd point out minute imperfections, a slightly uneven edge, a barely noticeable wrinkle, and use them as evidence that their work was lacking. The once confident employees began to doubt their skills and second-guess every stitch they made. The joy of creation was replaced by a sense of inadequacy. The camaraderie that had once united the team fractured under the weight of Mr. Granger's relentless expectations. Each employee felt isolated, as if they were battling their own insecurities while simultaneously trying to meet an ever-moving target. The struggle became not just about creating pillows, but about proving their worth. The employees wanted to see a glimmer of approval in Mr. Granger's eyes, to hear him say, "Well done," with sincerity. But the satisfaction of a job well done remained elusive, overshadowed by the constant pressure to be better, faster, and more perfect. In this chapter, we delve into the emotional toll that Mr. Granger's unrelenting demands take on his employees. The struggle to meet his expectations not only affects their work but also erodes their self-confidence and sense of belonging. We witness the transformation of a once positive work environment into a place of anxiety and self-doubt, highlighting the delicate balance between motivating employees and overwhelming them.
Chapter 5: The Impact on Morale. The once thriving workplace had now become a battlefield of emotions, with the effects of Mr. Granger's relentless pursuit of perfection rippling through every corner. As the weight of his unattainable standards continued to bear down on his employees, the collective morale began to plummet. Gone were the days of laughter and shared triumphs. The camaraderie that had once bound the team together gave way to a tense atmosphere, as employees silently competed against both each other and their boss's unrelenting expectations. The joy of working together and creating something beautiful was overshadowed by the fear of disappointing Mr. Granger once again. The employees, who had once found pride in their work, now found themselves trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and anxiety. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't seem to meet Mr. Granger's standards. The once enthusiastic team members felt like they were running on a hamster wheel, exerting immense effort but never truly moving forward. The impact on morale extended beyond the workplace. Employees began to carry the weight of their struggles home with them, affecting their overall well-being. Sleepless nights, stress-related health issues, and strained relationships became common as the pressure from work spilled over into their personal lives. Even the most dedicated employees started to question whether their efforts were worthwhile. The constant criticism and lack of acknowledgement eroded their sense of purpose and left them feeling like mere cogs in a machine. The creativity that had once fueled their passion was stifled by the suffocating demands of Mr. Granger's unattainable desires. As Chapter 5 unfolds, we witness the cascading effect of low morale on every aspect of the employees' lives. Mr. Granger's relentless pursuit of perfection not only takes a toll on their professional lives but also seeps into their personal well-being. This chapter serves as a stark reminder that a leader's expectations and behaviors can significantly impact the mental and emotional health of their team, highlighting the importance of fostering a positive and supportive work environment.
Chapter 6: The Wake-Up Call. Amid the haze of unmet expectations and fraying morale, a ray of clarity emerged for Mr. Granger. One day, an old friend, Sarah, visited his bustling pillow factory. She observed the tiredness in his eyes, the heaviness in his voice, and the palpable tension that hung in the air. Sarah had known Mr. Granger for many years, and she couldn't help but voice her concerns. "Why are you never satisfied?" Sarah asked gently, her eyes searching his for answers. Mr. Granger was taken aback by the question, a question he had rarely considered himself. He hesitated before responding, his thoughts a jumble of conflicting emotions. As he pondered Sarah's question, Mr. Granger's journey of relentless ambition unfolded before him. He saw how his pursuit of more had morphed into an unquenchable thirst, consuming not only his dreams but also the happiness of those around him. The satisfaction he had once hoped to find in each achievement had been replaced by a ceaseless yearning for something beyond his grasp. In the presence of his old friend, Mr. Granger's defenses began to crumble. He realized that his quest for perfection had blinded him to the beauty of his accomplishments, and the joy that should have accompanied each success had been overshadowed by his insatiable desires. The weight of his expectations on his employees and the toll on his own well-being became painfully clear. Sarah's words became a catalyst for introspection. Mr. Granger started to recognize the toll his behavior had taken on his team and himself. He saw the exhaustion in the eyes of his employees, the strained relationships, and the diminishing morale. For the first time in a long while, he truly listened to his employees' feedback and heard their concerns. As the realization settled in, a sense of regret mingled with newfound clarity. Mr. Granger acknowledged the need for change, not just for the sake of his business, but for the well-being of everyone involved. The wake-up call provided by Sarah prompted him to question the path he had been on and contemplate the kind of leader he wanted to be. In this chapter, we witness the turning point in Mr. Granger's journey. Sarah's candid question serves as a mirror that reflects the impact of his actions. As he begins to confront the consequences of his relentless pursuit, he stands at a crossroads, facing the choice between continuing down the same path or embarking on a new journey towards understanding and growth.
Chapter 7: The Transformation. With the seeds of realization planted by Sarah's question, Mr. Granger found himself at a pivotal moment in his life and leadership journey. He knew he couldn't continue down the same path of relentless demands and unattainable standards. It was time for a transformation, not only in his business practices but in his mindset and approach as a leader. Mr. Granger called a meeting with his employees, a meeting that was unlike any they had experienced before. With a sense of humility and vulnerability, he admitted his shortcomings and expressed his regrets for the toll his behavior had taken on the team. He acknowledged that he had been blind to the impact of his relentless pursuit of perfection and that he wanted to change. Tears welled up in the eyes of some employees as Mr. Granger's words reached their hearts. The air was thick with a mix of surprise and hope. They had yearned for acknowledgement and understanding, and now, they were hearing it from the very person who had caused them pain. In this chapter, we witness the transformation of Mr. Granger's leadership style. He started by actively listening to his employees' concerns, allowing them to share their experiences, frustrations, and aspirations. He recognized the importance of empathy and open communication in fostering a healthy work environment. Mr. Granger then began to set more realistic expectations and goals. He understood that excellence didn't mean perfection, and he shifted his focus towards celebrating progress rather than nitpicking flaws. He encouraged his team to take breaks and find balance, understanding that well-rested employees were more likely to produce high-quality work. As the days turned into weeks, a palpable change could be felt throughout the company. The tense atmosphere started to thaw, replaced by an air of collaboration and shared purpose. Employees, who had once felt like mere cogs in a machine, now felt valued and appreciated. Their creativity flourished once more, as they were free to express themselves without the constant fear of falling short. Mr. Granger's transformation was not just about changing his behavior, it was about cultivating a new mindset. He discovered the power of recognizing achievements, no matter how small, and celebrating the efforts of his team. He learned that leadership was about guiding and supporting, rather than pushing and demanding. In Chapter 7, we witness Mr. Granger's evolution from an unrelenting taskmaster to a compassionate and understanding leader. His willingness to change and his efforts to mend the bonds he had strained set the stage for a renewed sense of purpose and collaboration within the company.
The transformation is a reminder that growth is possible at any stage in life, and that true leadership begins with introspection and a commitment to positive change.
Chapter 8: Finding Balance. With the winds of transformation blowing through the company, Mr. Granger continued to guide his team towards a new era of understanding and harmony. The concept of finding balance became the cornerstone of his leadership philosophy, and he embarked on a journey to foster an environment where both his employees and the business could flourish. Gone were the days of setting unattainable goals and pushing his team to the brink of exhaustion. Mr. Granger recognized that sustainable success required a different approach. He began by setting more realistic expectations, allowing his team to achieve excellence without the paralyzing fear of failure. He traded the constant pursuit of perfection for a focus on continuous improvement. Mr. Granger's office, once a place of tension, became an open space for collaboration and communication. He encouraged his employees to share their ideas, concerns, and feedback without fear of retribution. Regular team meetings became forums for brainstorming, problem-solving, and recognizing achievements. These interactions created a sense of belonging and unity that had been absent for too long. One of the most significant changes was Mr. Granger's attitude towards work-life balance. He understood that his employees were not machines but individuals with lives, families, and personal needs. He introduced flexible working hours and encouraged his team to take breaks and vacations when necessary. This approach not only increased their productivity but also revitalized their passion for their work. The transformation of Mr. Granger's leadership style was reflected in the quality of the pillows his company produced. The atmosphere of collaboration and support translated into an improved creative process. The pillows now bore the mark of a team that worked cohesively, with each member contributing their unique skills to the final product. As the chapter unfolds, we see the ripple effects of finding balance throughout the organization. The workplace that was once dominated by stress and dissatisfaction had transformed into a space where employees felt valued and motivated. The company's reputation improved, not just for its quality pillows, but for its positive work culture that nurtured growth and well-being. Mr. Granger's journey to finding balance was a testament to the power of self-reflection and adaptation. Through his example, he showed that leadership wasn't about having all the answers, but about being willing to learn, grow, and create an environment where everyone could thrive. The chapter serves as an inspiring reminder that finding equilibrium is not only possible but essential for the success and happiness of both individuals and organizations.
Chapter 9: The Ripple Effect. With balance and a renewed sense of purpose at the forefront of his leadership, Mr. Granger's efforts began to create a ripple effect that extended far beyond the walls of his company. The positive changes he had initiated within the workplace started to radiate outward, impacting various facets of both the business and the lives of his employees. The transformation of the company's work culture didn't go unnoticed. Employees who had once felt disheartened and overlooked now felt empowered and valued. The atmosphere of collaboration and open communication inspired them to not only excel in their roles but also to support one another's growth. As the sense of unity deepened, it became clear that the whole was greater than the sum of its parts. The quality of the pillows also underwent a remarkable transformation. The focus on continuous improvement and collaboration led to innovative designs and enhanced craftsmanship. Customers began to notice the difference not just in the physical pillows they held, but in the overall experience of interacting with the company. Positive feedback and increased demand for the pillows fueled the company's growth in ways that no amount of relentless pursuit could have achieved. Beyond the immediate business impact, the ripple effect extended to the personal lives of Mr. Granger's employees. With the introduction of work-life balance and flexible hours, they found themselves with more time for their families, hobbies, and personal pursuits. This newfound equilibrium spilled over into their well-being, resulting in improved mental and physical health. As the word spread about Mr. Granger's transformation and the positive changes within his company, other businesses and leaders took notice. His story became an example of how a shift in leadership approach could lead to enhanced productivity, happier employees, and a more sustainable business model. Mr. Granger found himself invited to speak at conferences and events, sharing his journey and inspiring others to make similar changes. In this chapter, we witness the far-reaching impact of Mr. Granger's commitment to positive change. His decision to transform his leadership style set off a chain reaction that touched not only his employees but also the industry at large. The ripple effect serves as a testament to the profound influence one person's actions can have on the world around them, showcasing the power of leading with empathy, balance, and a genuine desire for growth and improvement.
Chapter 10: The Satisfied Ending. As the story of Mr. Granger's journey unfolds, we find ourselves arriving at a satisfying conclusion, one that encapsulates the profound transformation he underwent as a leader and the positive impact it had on his company, his employees, and his own sense of fulfillment. The once elusive contentment that Mr. Granger had sought through his unrelenting ambitions was finally within his grasp, but it wasn't achieved through an accumulation of more. Instead, it was born from a shift in perspective, a realization that success wasn't solely about external achievements, but about fostering a harmonious environment where growth, well-being, and collaboration thrived. The company, once burdened by tension and dissatisfaction, had blossomed into a hub of creativity, support, and shared purpose. Employees, who had once felt like cogs in a machine, now felt like valued contributors to a collective vision. The quality of the pillows they crafted mirrored the quality of their work culture, exceptional, thoughtfully crafted, and brimming with authenticity. Mr. Granger's leadership approach had become a beacon of inspiration for other businesses seeking a more humane and sustainable way of achieving success. His story resonated with leaders across industries, reminding them that leadership wasn't just about numbers and profits, but about the people who made those achievements possible. The chapter concludes with a satisfied smile on Mr. Granger's face, a smile that isn't the result of reaching a specific goal, but rather the realization that he had cultivated an environment where his team could thrive, where their efforts were acknowledged and appreciated. The ending isn't a finite conclusion, but a continuation of a journey marked by growth, empathy, and the understanding that true contentment is found in the process, the relationships, and the positive impact one leaves behind. In this final chapter, we witness the culmination of Mr. Granger's transformation from an unsatisfied boss to a fulfilled leader. His story reminds us that success is not a destination, but a continuous journey of learning, adapting, and appreciating the journey itself. It's a testament to the power of human connection, empathy, and the profound impact that leaders can have when they prioritize people over relentless ambition.
Conclusion: a lesson learned. The tale of Mr. Granger's journey from an unsatisfied boss to a transformed leader serves as a timeless lesson that resonates far beyond the confines of its pages. It underscores the profound impact that leadership style can have on individuals, organizations, and even entire industries. Through Mr. Granger's trials and triumphs, we learn that the pursuit of more, while tempting, can be a double-edged sword. The relentless quest for perfection and endless ambition can lead to a cycle of dissatisfaction, strained relationships, and diminishing morale. However, this story also highlights the transformative power of introspection, empathy, and change. The lesson isn't merely about the shift from dissatisfaction to satisfaction. It's about finding a delicate balance that fuels both personal and professional growth. Mr. Granger's transformation teaches us that leadership is about more than just goals and accomplishments. It's about creating an environment where individuals can thrive, where their efforts are recognized, and where well-being is valued. Leadership, as demonstrated by Mr. Granger's evolution, is about listening to one's team, adapting to their needs, and fostering an atmosphere of collaboration and respect. It's about acknowledging achievements, both big and small, and understanding that true success is a journey built upon shared aspirations and a supportive community. In a world often driven by the pursuit of ever-increasing goals, Mr. Granger's story is a beacon of light that reminds us to pause, reflect, and prioritize what truly matters. It's a reminder that true contentment isn't found in the relentless chase for more, but in the quality of our interactions, the impact we have on others, and the sense of fulfillment that comes from leading with empathy and authenticity. As we close this chapter of Mr. Granger's story, we carry with us the lesson that leadership is not a destination, but an ongoing process of growth, understanding, and the continuous effort to create a positive and meaningful impact on those around us.